Welcome to your Aligned as Fuck Life podcast, hosted by your girl, Shalvika. I am a life transformation coach, a wife, a cat mom, pure generator, Enneagram 3, Pisces sign, and helping you build an aligned as fuck life is my jam. Out in this world, we believe that there are no set rules for building a life, career, and business. That we are all unique and we should be able to embrace our uniqueness in everything we do while shedding all the rules or bullshit rules one at a time. We will talk all things mindset, manifestation, healing, energetics, rituals, success, and so much more. I believe that I can have it all and you can too. Ready for an episode that will take you one step closer to your aligned as fuck life? Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of your Aligned as Fuck Life with Shalvika. And before we dive in further, I want to wish you all a very, 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 very happy new year. I hope you have all of your love, luck, abundance. I hope all your desires come true and you live the most kick-ass year ever. I know, I'm a little late to the party. It's already 27th of Jan as I am recording this episode. But if you objectively think about it, 1st Jan is such a random ass date, right? Like I was just thinking about it. Like some person arbitrarily decided that this season in the middle of fucking winter, where the entire earth is supposed to be hibernating, is going to be the start of a year, and all human beings are going to decide how the rest of their year is going to be. They're going to measure how the rest of their year is going to be based on this arbitrary as fuck date. Anyway, I'm not here to rant, but I wanted to today share with you a few updates, some things that are happening in my world, some things that I feel like you would really benefit from knowing. And it's essentially kind of a recap and what is coming for me in 2026 kind of a podcast episode. And I'm so glad that you are here. Before I dive into the actual episode, I want to just share that this year I am publicly committing to publishing 52 episodes. I want to publish one episode for every week. Now, will they all come out weekly? I am not sure. Your girl can be a little random. She can be a little all over the place. But you know what? We are embracing all of that this year. So I'm committing to 52 episodes. I don't know if they are all going to come out on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Friday. I have no fucking clue, but you will walk away with 52 episodes this year. That's a promise from me. All right. Okay, let's kind of dive in. And this episode is actually contemplative. I know I have said in the episode title, this is like a 2025 wrap up, some journal prompts for 2026 and what's to expect. So that's exactly what you are going to get from this. This time of the year, honestly, always makes me pause, reflect, regroup. It makes me take a step back and assess what worked for me, what didn't work for me, what went well, what didn't go well, all of those standard things that every fucking life coach is probably talking about at the beginning of the year, right? But today what I'm doing is I'm gonna take a unique approach because I'm going to kind of do a recap of 2025 for me. And as I do that recap, I'm also going to leave you with certain journal prompts that you could work through to prepare for your 2026. Awesome. Okay, so I want to just start with saying what a fucking roller coaster 2025 was. Like, literal fucking roller coaster, okay? And I'm honestly still processing, I'm still integrating. But this year, 2025, was the year that I made the most amount of money my business has ever seen. 2025 was a year that my one on one coaching was completely booked for months. This was also the year that I massively invested in a mastermind. I massively invested in myself. I started learning Indian classical vocals, which honestly has been something that I have wanted to do for I don't even know how long, and that I just kept putting off for, a future date. This was also the year that I started building my team. So if I look at it professionally, this has been an insane year. Even though it hasn't felt like it, because I think, like I said, I think I'm still integrating it, I'm still absorbing it. So it hasn't really landed completely. But this has been a massive year. So here is the first journal prompt of today's podcast episode. How am I already living the life of my dreams? I want you to actually sit down and free write on this, because honestly, when I did this, I realized that even though there are certain aspects of my life that haven't gone the way that I wanted to, and I'm going to talk about that in a bit. It's very natural. It's a superhuman thing to obsess over those things, to obsess over the things that did not go well, and we let slide all of those things that have been going so kick ass for us, that have been working so bloody well for us, right? So just take your journal and grab your favorite tea. I'm right now drinking my favorite spearmint tea, and write down, free write, how am I already living the life of my dreams? Awesome. Okay, which brings us to the next part, which is newer levels always bring newer devils. This year, because it was so massive in so many ways, it literally put me through the grinder. 2025 didn't just give me wins, it dragged me through some of the hardest personal challenges that I have faced. Honestly, I've struggled with my body and my health. I have fallen sick a lot. I have had PCOD for a very long time, but majoritarily, like in 2023 and 2024, my cycles were back on track. I did not experience delayed periods, because of which I did not experience all of the other symptoms that are related to PCOD. But 2025 again, like, took me back. It dragged me through a lot of these challenges. I struggled with creating. I just shared with you, right, that I wanted to publish 52 episodes. And that springs from the fact that in the entire year of 2025, I published only 5 episodes. And I know that that's 5 amazingly insane episodes, okay, guys? I'm very aware of what a kick ass person and coach I am. But I want to bring it back. I want to take it back to the basics of keeping those promises to myself. I want to take it back to the basics of what can I do every single day to create, to make art. It can be a lot of my very, very imperfect watercolors. It can be me singing. It can be me coloring, whatever it is, right? I have struggled with that. I have struggled with my creative expression. And a part of it maybe is because I got busier this year. I worked with many people one on one. I had a team, so that needed my attention. Of course, that all is a part of it. But the thing that I want to focus on, and the thing that I really want to build my business on, is that it cannot take away from all of the things that give me joy in my life and business. And I feel like 2025 kind of took that joy away from me, because I was so focused on delivering and results. And that's fine. Again, there are seasons in life. What's important is that we take a pause, and then that we reevaluate. And that's where I am coming to. I also had to let go of a team member. I have literally never fired anyone that I employed. And it honestly broke my heart a little because I felt like we were a great fit. And that also taught me a lot of lessons, right? Like someone might feel like a great fit for you. Someone may feel like a great fit for your company, but that does not necessarily mean that you are walking towards the same goals, walking towards the same results. And that's what happened to me. And oh my God, I have had to go through so many identity transformations, guys. I can't even share. I don't think even I have yet been able to wrap my head around how many self concepts I have had to release. Because, like I said, I think I'm still in the middle of what I'm now calling my biggest identity glow up. Okay, so far, like up until like 3 weeks ago, I was calling it my dark night of the soul. But I think it's not that. I think everything that goes to shit is actually a redirection, and I very strongly believe that. Does that mean I'm always positive about it? Of course not. I'm a fucking human. And if you've been around my world for a long while, you know that I am not one of those coaches for whom life and manifestation is all about unicorns farting rainbows. Right? But it has been my biggest identity glow up yet. And it has had me questioning my life, my business, how I run it, the choices I've been making, how I've been spending my time and energy, which honestly brings us to what is happening, what is shifting in 2026, right? So, one thing that I know for sure is that I am making big ass fucking moves in 2026. And I wanted you to be the first to know because honestly, there are a lot of things that have been happening in my business behind the scenes over the last couple of years that have brought me to this point. I am done shrinking myself on a lot of fronts, right? And one of the decisions as a result of that is that I am taking a break from Instagram. Now, does that mean I'm deleting my account or deactivating it or whatever? Of course not. Does that mean that I'm never going to post on it? Of course not. But like I told you earlier, I've been reevaluating how I'm doing things, and I realized that Instagram has been insanely draining for me. It has been something that I feel like I have had to be on for the algorithm to respond in a certain way. And honestly, I am done. I am done creating 15-second videos with a perfect hook and the right retention tactics and hoping for people to show up for me. I'm no longer available for that game. Not because Instagram does not work. I'm not taking away from all of those people who run their businesses on Instagram. It just does not work for me because I am craving something deeper. I am craving a community where people actually want to spend time listening, reading, absorbing my work, where people actually take the time to come back to me with questions, where people actually connect with me and tell me that they really appreciate the efforts that I take and not just scroll past it like we tend to do on Instagram. And when I say I'm taking a break from Instagram, I'm also taking a break from Instagram as a consumer, not just as a creator. Again, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be on Instagram, but I am now very intentional on who I follow. I have unfollowed most of the business coaches and life coaches that I used to follow earlier, and now I am following people who I love watching. People who create art, people who create really funny stuff, people who create beautiful recipes, people who are creating amazing bodies like fitness influencers, right? So I'm being intentional on what I'm consuming. Because one thing that I realized in these last couple of months is that I am not a content creator. I am a content creator in the sense that I do have a podcast and I do have a Substack and I do create on Instagram, right? But that is not who I am primarily. Primarily, I am an identity alchemist. And it is time that I fully step into that power. So, anyone who wants to consume me in just 30 seconds or less is not for me. Because the work that I do, it takes a massive amount of attention. It takes a massive amount of learning and growing and listening and skills. And I don't want that to be condensed into just 30 seconds. Okay, so journal prompt incoming. All right, what are the top three things that have given me joy and energy in 2025? And what are the top three things that have drained me? Again, I want you to take your journal and I want you to free write on these. We don't want things that you should want, okay? We don't want, like, for example, if you have children, I don't want you to write that, okay, my children gave me joy. I don't mean that your children don't give you joy, okay? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is these responses don't need to be things that you feel you should write. They have to be things that you actually felt like gave you joy. So, what are the top three things that have given you joy and energy in 2025? And what are the top three things that have drained you? Just free write on this. Awesome. This brings me to the next part. My health is my number one priority. My mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, all of it. I am no longer available for hustling. I'm no longer available to bend my boundaries so things are more palatable for people around me. I am done with insane diets. I'm done with excluding food groups. I'm done with insanely intense workouts. I want daily long walks. I want to find lakes where I can just jump and swim in. I want movement that feels aligned and flowy. I want to nourish my body with wholesomeness and love. I want to dance and I want to sing and I want to sit with Mama Cacao and I want to journal and I want to make new friends and meet new people. You get the drift. I want to lead a more connected and intentional life. I am creating structures for that actually work for who I am. Like I said, with the podcast, right? I am going to publish 52 episodes. Does that mean they're going to come out every Tuesday? I don't know. They might come out every Tuesday, but they might not, right? But I am so fucking excited for what's coming in this year. And I can already feel it, okay? This year is going to be really big. And I want to talk about it towards the end of this episode about the energy of 2026. But let me give you the journal prompt for you this time. Imagine that you are 89 years old. Write a letter to your present self talking about your biggest focus areas, about your greatest achievements, and what you have valued so far in life. I'm going to repeat that again. Imagine you are 89 years old. Write a letter to your present self, talking about your biggest focus areas, your greatest achievements, and what you have valued so far in life. Again, free write. This is not about what you should write, but what you really, really want. This exercise is for you and you alone. You don't have to share it with anyone. So be honest. Be completely fucking transparent with yourself because this is your space to do that. And that brings us to the last segment that I want to talk to you about. And this segment, like I said, 2025 has been the most amazing identity glow up that I have received. So, the last segment, I want to talk to you about some new ideas about my self worth. And I want to share these with you. These are some new ideas that I am embracing, but I want to share them with you because, you may want to borrow them, or you may want to just see how they fit in your life, or they may give you some ideas about your own identity glow ups, about your own new identities that you want to embrace. So, the first idea about my self worth is my worth is independent of how much I do. Honestly, I've run this business for more than 5 years. It's almost 6 years now. I have served hundreds of people. My audience and my following are enough to sustain and grow my life. And as a human being, I'm not here to please everyone. If you like me, yay. If you don't, I'm sorry, but that's not my job to make you like me. So I refuse to be driven by a constant need to do more, because me doing more does not reflect my self worth at all. I am worthy just as I am, just as who I am, just as how much effort that I put in. I am worthy just because, right? That's my first idea about my self worth. The second, everything in every way is always working out for me. 2025 is the year that I got rejected the most. Is that really rejection? No, it's not. It was redirection at every given point. Every single point that I felt that I failed, that was just data so that I could improve myself. Every time that I felt envious or jealous about someone else, that was my subconscious showing me what I actually desired and what I was really deeply scared to admit to myself. So everything in every way is always working out for me, because my life is happening for me, not to me. And the third new idea, new identity that I'm embracing is my life is abundant just as it is. Does that mean that I don't want more? Of course not. But where I am right now is so beautiful. It is so complete that anything more that comes my way is a fucking bonus. Because my life is abundant just as it is, right? Because again, how am I already living the life of my dreams? Oh my God, in so many ways, right? So here is the journal prompt for this section. What I want you to do is I want you to list down all the things you want to be in 2026. Not a list of goals, not a list of things you want to do and achieve and tick off your checklist. Not that. I want you to make a list of all the things you want to be. I want to be calmer in 2026. I want to feel more connected to myself in 2026. I want to be more intentional about how I spend my time. I want to be more joyful. I want to be more connected to my inner child. You get the drift, right? So list down all the things you want to be in 2026. And then what I want you to do is I want you to make a list of all the beliefs that version of yourself has embraced. If you want to be more calm in 2026, what are the beliefs that the calm version of you has embraced? That is your identity shift list. These are the places where you want to completely overhaul your identity, and that is going to be your guiding light on where you go from here, right? Awesome. So that is all that I wanted to share with you. I do want to share with you my word for 2026, and that word is simplify. But I'm going to record another podcast episode talking about this. But for now, this is all that I had for you. Thank you so much for being around. Thank you so much for listening to me. And the last question I want to leave you with is, who are you deciding to be in this year? Let's fucking go and be that person. Awesome. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.
Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming. And if you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up some extra inspiration and send me a hello on Instagram by searching at Shalvika P. Also tagged in the show notes. I love and adore you so much, and I will talk to you super soon. In the meantime, continue building your most authentic and aligned as fuck life. Ciao!